everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Member Series Monday, where you have the opportunity to meet our incredible Burn Bootcamp Prosper members beyond this floating floor. And today with me, I've got one of our members, Karen, who's been a member with us for almost a year. And I cannot wait for you guys to hear her burn story. Karen, welcome.
Hi.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited
you.
to have you. I have not gotten an opportunity to sit with you and kind of get to know you. So I'm really excited to get to know you a little bit in this episode of our Member Series Monday. And I know obviously our members are super excited about. So you've been a member for almost a year now with us. Is that correct?
Yep.
What is your burn story? Like, I don't know. So share with us all things.
So I always been on a weight loss journey. So I did traditional workouts, go to the gym. But at one point I was getting bored with the gym. And then I actually got a personal trainer who I feel like didn't meet me where I was at. And so I kept hearing about Burn Boot Camp and I was like, I want to try it, but I'm kind of scared because it's boot camp. And then they started coming and it's been kind of game over since then. Like I just fell in love with it. It's very encouraging. It's very fast paced, exactly what I wanted. So yeah.
You said something about personal training.
Yes.
Right? Tell me, because we have a lot of people who are always asking us, right? We do personal training in a group setting.
Right.
That's kind of what we do. So you said your personal trainer didn't meet your needs. What does that look like to you? Like, what were some of your needs? Like,
so I knew that progressive overload was a thing and that when you're going to work out, it has to be kind of like the same workouts every time. Every time I got there, it was a different workout, like traditionally different. And at that time, I've been going to the gym on my own 2 years and I was like, this is not right. And then he was also not very friendly. Like I was coming in, I felt like I was an annoyance to him. And so I was like, I don't know about this. And then so I started avoiding the gym and I love the gym. Like it's always been my outlet, especially with my lifestyle or my work. Gym's always been an outlet. Working out has never been an issue for me. It's always been like the nutrition part. So now my safe place was getting taken away because I was avoiding my personal trainer because I wanted to go to the gym without him, but like now he's just not wasn't just a friendly face. It wasn't clicking. And so that's when I was like, okay, let's try this. And then so I started working out with the trainers here and I felt encouraged and, believed in and pushed. And I really loved that. And it's what I needed because there's times when I'm coming from work and I'm like, I don't want to go. But like when I remember the first time I came in and everyone, they gave high fives as we walked in, I was like, that's awesome because like I want to go home right now and I pushed myself to come after work and that was what did it. It was very simple. It was the high five, saying good job for coming here. I was like, yeah, because I'm tired and I'm in school full time and I'm working full time and it's just like and I have a stressful life. And it's like if I can make it to the gym, I got here. Please let me know. Thank God.
No, I love that. You mentioned a safe space.
Yeah.
That's so huge,
Yeah.
right? And that's kind of what our goal here is. And not to you and to a lot of people, like including myself. This is that safe space. And I think that's really, I love that you use that word. That makes me really, really happy.
Oh yeah. This place is, it feels safe. It feels like when I come in here, I'm wanted and then pushed and I feel encouraged. And honestly, when you're kind of going through it and it's like when you're constantly trying to like get to a goal and then having people around you do so because people in my personal life, they're not going through the same like weight loss struggles as I am.
Yeah.
So coming here and watching everyone give it their all, makes me want to give it my all. And then again, the trainers and you guys are just constantly pushing and encouraging us. It makes me want to come back.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about it. When we started this, you talked about weight loss struggles, weight loss journey. How long have you struggled? Like, tell me a little bit about it.
I've always been overweight my whole entire life. So, and then I got to a really good point and then, where I was losing weight and everything like that. I got myself in a routine. And then at the time I was living in Arizona and I moved here and like everything was different because okay, so Arizona, everything's like 5 minutes away. Here, it's a 45-minute drive
Uh-huh.
to anywhere. And then so
Welcome to Texas.
right. So driving to work and then driving to classes and then driving to, the gym, it was a lot. And then I was working long hours. I was working maybe 50 hours a week in my job. And so like all of those compounding, I fell off really hard. And so when I woke up and were like, okay, I need to get the handle back on it, that's when you guys kind of came in place.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always been up and down. I always struggle with my weight, like I said, like the gym's always been a safe place. Going and working out, that's never the issue. It's knowing what the best foods to feed me is, and that's where like the struggle comes for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm sure you've done some of focus meetings
Yeah.
and stuff that we offer, which is incredible, like with the nutrition and things like
Right.
that.
And they've been very helpful and they got me on my macros and my calories. And
Love
now
that.
I feel confident in what I'm doing. And especially
Yeah.
this workouts are so intense,
Uh-huh.
but challenging in a good way that, I'm not worried about, okay, am I working out enough to compound what I'm putting in my body? I don't have to worry about that. I just come in, I do what I need to do, and then,
Right.
we meet with my trainer, and then I keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you said you've struggled with this issue since childhood. Is
Yeah.
that correct? How, there's a lot of people, right? I think just because it feels like somebody may not seem like they're overweight or they are or they're not, right? A lot of people, we have the same struggles, right? How have you found yourself? Like when you say yes, weight loss is like the one part of it, right? But there's
Right.
so many other things that come with it,
Yeah.
right? There's outside noise that comes with it, right? There's the inner noise that comes with it, right? Like
Right.
it's tough. Like
Yeah.
I say things to me that I sometimes wish I don't, right? We
Right.
all do that. How do you maneuver that? Do you struggle with those things?
Yeah, being insecure has always been like a thing in my life. I remember when I was starting at 14, I was about to move to Virginia. I'm a military brat, so I've been around a lot. And so I was about to
I
move
didn't know that about you.
yeah.
Okay.
So when at 14, I was about to move to Virginia, and at that point, I was bullied a lot. And so at one point, I was like, you know what? I'm not going to allow people to be negative, and I'm not going to take it anymore. And so as much as I do have my insecurities and I battle with that, I don't deal with so much I don't feel depressed by them anymore. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I still have insecurities. I know
Sure.
I'm very aware of the things I want to work on, and
Sure.
I don't feel tethered that I'm going to let them hold on to me. It's something I work on. That's what we're doing. But what I used to do, and I still do today, I would just look in the mirror every single day and tell myself how beautiful I was and how confident and how smart I am. And I tell myself that all the time
I love
because
that. Positive
you do,
affirmations.
yeah.
That's huge.
Negative thoughts do happen. Like they happen on here. I'm like, oh my God, can I do this? But like I push myself because it's like it's me against me.
Yeah. And you did athlete games. Can we please talk about how amazing you did? Like, holy crap, I see you doing those chest press.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was your experience with athlete? What made you want to do athlete games? Like, have you done something like that before?
No, and I wanted to.
Okay.
I was excited.
it.
I was like, hell yeah, let's do it.
Love it.
And I just wanted to push myself and
Yeah.
I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to see if I can do it. And then I'm like, okay, well now next year there's something I want to work on, like the running part was hard for me. I'm like, well, next year I'm gonna run the whole time.
Love it.
Just constantly push myself because I always want with my philosophy, my personal philosophy, I do what scares me. So if it scares me, then I'm going to do it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you prepare yourself for that? Like, because I mean, fear is something that stops a lot of people from
Right.
getting to their goals, right? Fear is something that stops a lot of people from doing most things, right?
Right.
Like, what do you do? How do you tackle that?
I'm typically a planner.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so like if this goes wrong, there's B, C, and D. But like I think me also being raised by military families, it's also like how do I want to say it? My mom and I talk about this all the time. Like, let's say I'm also in a long distance relationship, and so the question of moving in with my boyfriend who lives in Oregon, people come around me like, "Aren't you scared to move from Texas?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not from here in the first place, so it's a big deal." But like, you act like me moving there means I can't come back if it doesn't work out.
Yeah, I love
There's
that.
always options. You're not limited by the one option the one choice that you made.
Love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. And I think a lot of it also has to do with people just when you continuously just keep on thinking about the same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh, should I do it? Should I do it? Should I not do it? Should I not do it? Like, I mean, sometimes it is a YOLO.
Yeah.
Not on everything, but a
But for
lot
the
of
most
things.
time,
Yeah.
you only have one life, and if you sit there thinking about like the what is, what if this wrong, what if this doesn't work out this time, then you're gonna be in the same place.
Yeah.
And I have dreams and ambitions, and I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
So I just keep doing things that scare me, and hope that the next time that next decision pans out to the next decision, and
Just
it
kind of
works
go through it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell me about your dreams and goals. You just said you have ambition. Like, what is it? Share with us. Share with Burn Nation what you want to do.
So my latest motivation is this. So there's a girl in North Carolina. She has a private practice, and the private practice is both a personal training gym and also a counselor. So it's a
Wow.
combination of
Okay.
both. And I was like, that's really cool, because I do think that when I come and work out, my problems are kind of left on the floor.
Wow.
Like I'm not it releases my stress, my worries and all that. I work it out. It really is a therapy for me. And a lot of people, they do better when they're like talk therapy, but also they do better when they're actually working out. And so combining those two things, I'm like, that's actually genius.
Yeah.
So again, I'm in school to become a therapist,
Yep.
family and marriage therapist, but I would like to have my own private practice where I can combine both of those efforts.
Love that. Love
Yeah.
that. How much longer do you have left for your school?
I have a year.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that's going to go by so quick.
I know, I'm very excited.
Done.
I'm so done.
I don't blame you. That sounds not fun.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
So you have a long-term goal, which is that's kind of what we're doing. We want to
Right.
open your practice. And how cool is the concept? The workout and a private practice
Yeah.
because so my husband's a pharmacist, right? By
Right.
profession. Like now he is fully into our other business called Project Lean Nation.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because me and him always talk about it. He's like, I went from distributing pills,
Right.
because that was his job,
Yeah.
to distributing meals,
Yeah.
right? Which a lot of problems, in the world are literally solved by working out and eating healthy food. What
Right.
is that little, he always tells me when I'm cranky, he goes, did you eat food? And always tells me, he goes, it's either hunger or it's either you haven't worked out or either you haven't slept. It's like those three things in
Yeah.
life can solve anything that
Right.
you want to do. So
Yeah.
I see a counselor myself. I've been seeing a counselor for years now since I
Yeah.
started running a business. And they always tell me that. They're like, hey, if you are ever going through anything crazy in life, just take a stop and be like, did you work out? Did you eat today? And are you rested?
Right.
Like those three things will pretty much fix anything. So
Yeah.
it's crazy. Like, you're working out. It's a great concept that she has in North
Yeah.
Carolina.
I
Like we're
know.
going to work out
And
and
then you
then
like counseling, or
And
you can do it
counseling
at
is
the
so
same
huge.
time, like
What made you want to pick counseling?
so my mom worked at a rehab facility in San Diego where she was working with like psychologists and therapists and all that. And then one of the therapists kind of took me on their wing and was like, Karen, like, look at this client. Do they look sick to you? And I'm like, well, not physically, because like at that time, doctors were, when patients are actually
Right.
sick. And he was like, well, no, like emotionally, they're not there. They need help. They have issues. And just kind of opened up this door of like thinking about counseling and how it can help people, because a lot of people don't have those basic concepts where they understand like, oh, I went through a traumatic situation, and I'm just kind of going through life, and I go through these ups and downs, but like I don't know why this is happening.
Yeah.
I don't know why my life's this way. And so me is like giving them tools. Like this is why, if you went through some trauma, you have to give yourself grace, you have to understand, and helping them learn and have tools is basically why I became in the field. For me, it's like I want to see people be happy. I want them to feel confident and secure with who they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you went through stuff, that's not really given. You know, I
Yeah.
grew up in such a beautiful, happy home that it makes me sad when people don't go through those same things.
Yeah.
And so if I can give that, give an inch of what I had, the values that my parents raised me with, and give that to someone so that they can do that for themselves and then their future families, like that's just a beautiful thing.
I love your why. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I love to hear that you had a beautiful upbringing.
Yeah.
That's really, really, really important. And I
Yeah.
think most as parents, like for me and like, everybody, like that's kind of what you strive to do in life. And I'm sure that's kind of what your parents
They did. They worked very
were.
hard.
Yeah, it's not easy. So that's incredible to hear.
Yeah.
What are some things that you do? Because I mean, you obviously are aware of, I love what you talked about. Hey, my goal is to make other people happy and like
Right.
hopefully have what I have, right? That's kind of
Right.
what your goal is. What are some of the things that you do to take, because your job, you shared with me before we even got on camera
Yeah.
that your job, one, it's incredibly cool. So Burn Nation, if you don't know, she works at a prison.
Jail.
I'm sorry. She works at a jail doing case studies, like really cool.
Right.
That's a lot on your
Yeah.
plate. Before that, you said you worked for a rehab center where you would deal with alcoholism. Is that correct? Or
Basically, so
okay,
people who were going through addiction and that were kids were removed out of their homes for
huge,
CPS. Yeah.
right? How do you maintain those things? Like, how do you take care of yourself with all these things going on with you?
I honestly don't know. Like when people tell me that I have a lot on my plate, I'm like, it doesn't seem like it because I've been
Okay.
in school full time and working full time my whole adult life.
Yeah.
And so it's like I have a lot going on. Just seems like another day.
Yeah.
But I think because I am very big on self-care. So like for me, I do like go get my nails done and I do pamper myself and I have the luxury of living alone. So there's times where I'll just self-isolate for 2 days, like take that time, not do anything, not talk to anyone, just relax,
Love it.
let my brain turn to mush.
That's amazing. And I
Yeah.
love that. I want to see more of this. And I appreciate
Yeah.
you sharing this because, the saying that you can't pour from an empty cup, it's so
Right.
big. And I am talking to myself right now as I'm talking to you and we all try.
Yeah.
But man, one of the hardest thing to do is take care of yourself, right?
Right.
Beyond, yes, this is great if all else fails, but I think there's so much more that needs to be done, especially for I don't want to say especially just for women. I think for
Right.
men as well, it's so,
For
so,
all,
so
yeah.
important. So,
Yeah.
but I appreciate you being here.
Thank
I
you.
love that I was able to, or you were able to share this with us. Would you say that Burn's given you some kind of transformation? I know we've kind of talked about it, right? Like,
Yeah.
how has Burn impacted your life besides just that 45 minutes coming in here? That's for yourself.
I feel like I always see these cool workouts like on TikTok or whatever, and I'm like, can I do that? But here it's like, I'm watching myself put my body in these positions that I didn't know that I could.
That's
And
a
so
really great way to put
I
it.
was like, I didn't know that I can, do a full burpee before, or, half a burpee, I didn't know that I can do that in so many sets, those workouts I used to strive against that I do now. That's where the transformation comes from. I know that I'm getting there. I'm not where I want to consider myself, quote unquote, transformation,
Sure.
but it does give me the confidence to push myself to be there again.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And I think, we discussed earlier when we were, I was interviewing the guys, transformation. There's so many different kinds of transformations from
Right.
my perspective. It's not always just weight loss, right?
Yeah.
The biggest confidence we see for people is just gaining that confidence when they
Right.
walk through these doors and before they walk out,
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate you being here. It means the world to me. I
Thank
know you
you.
had so many other things in life, such as self-care you could have done on this Sunday, but you chose to be here. So thank you. Thank you for being part of our
Yeah.
gym and sharing your story. We love you. You
I
are
love you
crushing
too.
it. And Athlete Games next year, we're running a full lap, girl. I mean, not we, you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing social media. There's no we here. But you're running a full lap and I'm going to cheer you on. So I'm
Thank
excited.
you.
All right, we're going to end this. But as always, we're going to end it with 2 claps. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
2 claps on 2. 1, 2.